Okay, here's a few thoughts on jazz practice. Just getting to know some basic stuff so that we can start tackling the music. The good news is that there's a limited amount of chord types that are used on a basic level. So major seventh, dominant seventh, minor 7 flat 5. And you should know the spellings or the formulas for these. 1, 3, 5, 7 for a C major 7th chord, 1, 3, 5, flat 7, etc. I won't sing too much, it's too painful. 1 flat 3, 5 flat 7, 1 flat 3, flat 5, flat 7. So that's going from major 7th to minor 7 flat 5. So there's a kind of continuum there. If you look at it on paper, C major 7th, down to the minor 7th. That's not how these work. So go through those arpeggios. Okay, but those arpeggios won't be used in that context, not all in the same root. What you get is tonal relationships. So you might get a D minor 7th chord, which is 1 flat 3 5 flat 7th, followed by G 7th, 1 3 5 flat 7th, followed by C major 7th, 1 3 5 7. Okay, so those are the things to work on individually, and then putting them together. That 2 5 1 progression. And if we've been looking at Autumn Leaves, for instance, that has a 2 5 1 in a major key and a 2 5 1 in a minor key. So in that tune it covers a lot of the harmonic information that is used in lots of other standards, but in its own particular permutation, whereas other standards will use it in different ways. So the thing to do is just to take one thing at a time and get that together thoroughly. And you can do this just in one octave, so just a D minor 7th chord, and just practice that up and down. First of all, make sure you tune to concert pitch, okay? And if you're a singer, make sure you've got a reference to concert pitch and give yourself a note if you need it, to keep yourself right. Always tune to concert pitch. Make sure that you have got a reference point. And then just practice the arpeggio up and down. Okay, and then you can just be creative and manipulate that in any way that you want to, sticking with the one chord type. So you could move that up a fourth around the cycle of fifths to G minor 7th. And to C minor 7, F, B flat, etc. And then I'm back to D. Take it slowly, take your time. You know, it's kind of, it doesn't matter how quickly or slowly you do this. It's about getting this stuff together thoroughly. So the circle of fourths is a great tool here. And then move on to dominant 7th and do the same thing. Maybe start on G 7th. And then again move that. Etc. Then we're back to G. And then same with major 7th. Okay, need to check my tuning here. And then you can think about how scales relate to these chords as well. So these three chords that I'm talking about, D minor 7th, and again get to know some chord shapes as well that work on a basic level. You can see that one. Okay, D minor 7th, G 7th, C major 7th. And then think about scales as well. So arpeggio. And then chord. Or you can have chord, arpeggio, scale. And same with the next one, chord. Back to chord, and then next chord. And how you do these is entirely up to you. You know, whether you repeat that top note, just be creative with it. Spend a decent amount of time getting the nuts and bolts together, and then then get a bit creative to keep it interesting. Then maybe try and move between two of the chords, maybe between and C. And see if there's any more interesting ways that you can move just between those two sets of four notes. There are lots of pleasing kind of permutations that you can come up with. So just take all this stuff slowly. Better to learn something thoroughly. Get this to become like an intuitive part of your language and a daily part of your practice to confront playing on chord changes. So we'll move on to the minor 251 probably in the next video or very soon.